So that helps a lot with brand awareness. They see my stuff every single day. The referral cards helps them want to refer me to some other neighbor or their friends. So that's honestly helps so much, and people are just grateful like that. I'm thank you enough to give them something like that at the end of the job. Like they really appreciate it, and I've never really seen any other service-based businesses do that too much.
Welcome to the OUTWORKEM podcast. My name is Ryan. I'm here with Garret, owner operator of the Garage Door Doctor.
That's right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
For sure. Yeah. How's business today? It's Aloha Friday over here for me. How's your Aloha Friday?
It's going good. I had to pick up some parts today. Just had to restock at the end of the week, and then kind of just towards the end of the week, I like to prepare for the next. Make sure all my parts are stocked up so I can serve my clients at like the highest quality. I always try to keep stock of everything, so that's kind of what I'm doing today. Probably will hit the gym, stay healthy.
Nice. There you go. I'm on the same page with you there, my friend, for sure. So Garret and I met in a social media marketing group, specifically for Instagram and Instagram ads. Our friend Tyler leads that group, and he's helped me a lot with my social media ads, up-leveling all that for my clients. And Garret, I see you active on social. You've had some viral reels and some cool stuff happen. Like, I'd love to hear about your business, like how you got into the industry and when you started to use social media to help you amplify your lead gen.
All right. So I got into the industry. I joined a program on Instagram from another younger guy. He got into the industry young, and then he created like a course that helped other entrepreneurs kind of get started into it. So that's how I got into it. And then I would say like about a year into my business, that's when I realized that social media has so much power to like create an actual brand. So I started, I created a Instagram profile, just started posting, nothing too crazy. And then that's where it kind of came across Tyler. He taught us really how to build a brand, put our face in front of it, like a personal brand. And then that's kind of what's helped me with my social media marketing, 100%.
Nice. So like right now, what would you say, what percentage of your leads come in through social versus other channels?
So social media, I wouldn't say I get all my business from social media, as I'm still perfecting like my posts and my ads and everything like that. So I do get a handful of clients from social media. I definitely get a lot from other local platforms like Nextdoor, Facebook. And then I do like door hangers. I have like my marketing on my truck, so that helps a lot. I have like a Google page, a website, getting a new website made actually right now, so that's going to help a lot. But I try to just get my name out on every platform possible, just so like whatever search engine or social media platform they're on, like they can find me.
Nice. So Nextdoor and like some of those other platforms, do you just stay active looking for people asking questions? Do you run ads there? Like what's your vibe there?
So Nextdoor was kind of where I honestly built my business from. Like my it's kind of funny, but my grandma told me about it, because like I would say it's like mostly like an older group of people, like I don't know, 50 plus. It's like a lot of like local neighborhood. Like they're kind of like watching out for lost dogs and everything like that. So I kind of just started marketing myself on there, and I think they respect like a younger guy getting into business. So like I started doing that 2 years ago, and I like built up a good name on there. So people will just see my stuff. They probably save it, or even if like people are like, oh, I need a garage door guy, people will comment my name on there. So that really helps. I get honestly a ton of business off of Nextdoor, because that's kind of where I started from.
That's awesome. And then we didn't dive into this in the beginning. Where are you located? You in Southern California somewhere, right?
I'm in Southern California, like Mission Viejo to be correct.
Okay, cool. I just went for the first time. I went on a little surf trip for like 4 days with a buddy down to San Clemente. How far are you from there?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes. I'm super close.
That spot's a vibe.
That's like I want to move there. It's like the best spot. It's like super local. Everyone's cool. Everyone's down to earth. It's a great place.
Yeah, I surfed State Beach a couple days, and then T Street. The waves weren't
Yeah.
great, but there was enough to have fun. It's
Yeah. We
cool.
got trestles down there. That's like one of the best surf spots.
Yeah, I didn't want to play with the all the rocks, all
Yeah.
those
The
cobblestones or
rock,
whatever they were.
call it the rock
I was
band.
like, low tide. There wasn't much of anything. I would have had to go at low tide. I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
Not for me.
There you go. I feel that.
Cool. So you mentioned earlier in the show you like to go to the gym, stay healthy. Kind of
Exactly.
sounds like you subscribe to the ideology of you got to take care of yourself to operate
100%.
at the highest level, and show up for your clients, probably your family,
Mhm.
all that for yourself.
Yeah, it's discipline. So I got into the gym and
Hmm.
my health before I started my business, probably 4 years ago. I got like
Hmm.
super into the ancestral diet. Like I'm
Hmm.
still big on it today, but lots of like meat, fruit, like whole
Were
foods.
you following the Liver King's tenants?
Yeah,
Were you following his tenants?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. That and
There you
then
go.
carnivore MD Paul Saladino.
Yep.
That's like I still shape. I'm definitely not as locked in it as I used to be, but I still like really try to dive down on my health. I'm still super healthy today. I always eat a lot of
Yeah.
protein, lots of meats, fruits for carbs,
Hmm.
honey, all that good stuff.
Yep.
But I think the gym got me disciplined enough to where I realized like I built myself up, so now I'm gonna build a company up.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I started from, branched out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So, do you end up meeting many of your clients like just in person, walking around, living your life,
I
or is
do
it?
a little bit. I would
Hmm.
say it's always in my truck too. It depends. Like I'm a pretty social person, so when I talk to people, they ask me like what I do for work. I've met people. I ended up doing jobs from just by talking to people. But just
Yeah.
driving around in my truck helps a lot too because at least like they know from a marketing standpoint like that I do garage doors. But
Yeah.
even if like you're doing activities, playing pickleball, golf, surfing, like you can spike up a conversation with anybody and you never know they could
Hmm.
be potential clients.
So, whenever you do have people inquire, like most businesses I work with, they're dealing with people getting multiple quotes. There's competition in the marketplace. Some niches are more competitive than others.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I spend a large portion of the year in Phoenix, Arizona.
Mhm.
Garage door business is pretty competitive there. So, how do you differentiate yourself or stand out from your competitors?
Yeah. So what I kind of realized is I'm a super down to earth guy. So I just keep that same energy with my clients. So I respond fast. They call me. I'm answering the phone. I'm getting back to them as soon as possible. I was actually dealing with a new client of mine. It's maybe one of my biggest jobs I've ever done. I have that for next week, which is pretty cool. But he called up a few other companies and I ended up closing the deal. But he's like, "You're the only normal guy I've talked to." I don't know why, but it's just in the garage door business, there's just a lot of like flaky people. They don't respond. They like overcharge you. So like just being a good guy and like doing what you say you're gonna do and like
Hmm.
marketing yourself, just trying to like get ahead of everyone, just like one step ahead every day. Like the
Yeah.
competition is honestly no problem.
And then what about like referrals and reviews? Is that a big part of your strategy?
100%. So
Hmm.
something I implemented in 2026 is I give out thank you bags. So I have a branded bag with my logo on it, and then I
Hmm.
have a cup in there with my logo on it, a
Hmm.
magnet. I give them a few
Hmm.
business cards, and then there's actually like an air freshener for their car with my logo. And I have
Cool.
referral cards. So they refer someone, they get a discount. The referee gets a discount. It's kind of like a hand in hand. So that
Yeah.
helps a lot with brand awareness. They see my stuff every single day. The referral cards helps them want to refer me to some other neighbor or their friends.
Hmm.
So that's honestly helps so much, and people are just grateful like that. I'm thank you enough to give them something like that at the end of the job. Like they really appreciate it, and I've never really seen
Yeah.
any other service based businesses do that too much. So that's one way I stand out. And then as for reviews, 100%. So after every single job or invoice I send out, it's actually through AI, but I send out an automated text, and that just plows in Google reviews. Like I went from probably 40 reviews, actually
Mhm.
just hit 140 plus 5-star reviews like yesterday within like
Oh,
six
congratulations. There you
yeah,
go.
within 6 months. So reviews are so helpful for your business. If you're not getting reviews and asking every single customer for it, you got to start today.
No, I love that. What would you say are the most common problems people are calling you with, like homeowners are dealing with?
Yeah, so I would say one of the most common problems is there's called torsion springs on a garage. Those
Hmm.
pretty much take all of the weight off the door because these doors are heavy. They weigh a ton. So these springs pretty much counterbalance it like those scales if you've seen that kind of one way. And
Hmm.
motors, that's what helps you open the door. You don't have to lift it up by your hand anymore. It's all you press a button and it opens up right for you. Those are I would say two of the most common. And then people don't like noisy garage doors. Like if they open their
Yeah.
door and that thing starts squealing, no bueno. So servicing
Yeah.
it just like an annual service, it's like a car, you know, you
Hmm.
have to take care of your garage or else it's not going to take care of you.
Yeah. I don't have a garage, but my mom does, and I feel like hers is ready for service.
Yeah, it's
She's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's starting to squeal a little
uh,
bit.
exactly.
I'm going to take your advice and tell her to get someone out there.
Yeah, call someone out there to make sure the longer you wait to take care of it, the more it's going to cost. It's always like that way.
Yep, totally makes sense. And like besides, so those are the problems people deal with,
Mhm.
but most people like they don't realize that it needs annual service is an
Exactly.
assumption I have.
Yeah.
But what else don't people realize usually about their garage door setup or their system?
So one thing is garage doors are actually like the heaviest moving object in your whole entire house. So the job I was just talking about previously, I had to go to his house because the springs all go off of weight. So if the door
Hmm.
weighs 200 pounds, you get the springs correlated to that weight. So I had to obviously pull out my scale. You have to take all the tension off the spring so that's just dead weight on the floor. This door
Hmm.
weighed 482 pounds. So
Yeah.
it's heavy as hell.
Did you have that on the scale on your Instagram the other day
I
and take a
did. I
picture?
did.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really that's gonna be like one of the most heavy residential doors because it's a wooden door. It's a
Hmm.
16 by 8, which the standard is usually 16 by 7, so a whole extra foot by 16 of
Hmm.
straight wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, doors are super heavy. You got to be careful. If those springs snaps and the door happens to be in like an opening position, that thing could come crashing down. So
Yeah.
that you really got to be careful about that. And then as for servicing, I always recommend my customers to have me come out at least once a year. That's just
Hmm.
kind of like a standard nice timeline. Come out once
Yeah.
a year, take care of it, make sure nothing's going on. That's something I'm trying to implement into my business right now is kind of get an automated like so I'll have these people automated where it's their cards on my file and I come out just so I can get that reoccurring revenue. That's something I'm trying to implement into my
Yeah.
business this year.
Awesome. Yeah. That makes sense. And then today, we usually have a little bit more time for the pod. We had a little time change.
Yeah.
So I wanted to close out with, what advice would you give to someone who would like to start a business, thinking about getting into, I'd say specifically to someone more like your age,
Hmm.
someone, you got started early. I didn't ask you how old you are. You just alluded to yourself being young.
Yeah.
You started about 4 years ago. Is that correct?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay. And how old are you?
So I'm 21 now. I started when I was
Awesome.
19. So I got into it super early. But
Awesome.
as for someone young, honestly, it's I would say do something you have passion for, you have the skills for. I mean, as entrepreneurs, we learn to adapt. So like that kind of goes hand in hand. Like you can get into something, you don't have to fully know how to do everything, but at least have some passion for it because you got to like love the product you're selling, you know, you got to believe in it. So
Yeah.
you just have to, the hardest part is starting. Like just as for
Mhm.
any business that anyone's ever started, once you kind of get past that first hump of kind of developing like the structure of the entity and kind of getting some branding out there, getting your first few clients, then
Yep.
the snowball starts to roll, you know, it's like, it's kind of
Yeah.
pushing it off that flat plane. Just have to start. And then from there, you kind of just learn to adapt along the way and figure out new things
Mhm.
and come across different complications. It's just the whole part of the process.
I usually have a handful of rapid fire questions, but I'm just going to give you three. First thing that comes to your mind. You game?
Do I game?
No. Are you game for the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Cool. Favorite business book that you've read?
Probably one of Alex Hormozy's 100 Million Leads. That's one of my favorite because he really kind of dives down on how to capture people's attention through different sources of cold calling, social media, and on from there.
All right. And then best piece of advice you received from a mentor?
So best piece of advice I've received from a mentor would probably be, it's short, but I kind of live off of it, is when you're up, don't get too up, and when you're down, don't get too down. So when you're having a good week or a good month, don't
Yeah.
strive off of that and think that's how it's going to be the rest of your life. And then when you're
Yeah.
down, don't get too down. You want to stay in a flat plane of consistency, and that'll kind
Yeah.
of bring you towards your goals.
I'm with that for sure. I'm not a big fan of the roller coaster.
Exactly.
And then lastly, what's your favorite food?
It's got to be steak.
There you go.
Steak's my
I'm
favorite
with you.
food. A nice New York ribeye or New York
Automatic.
cut, medium.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Cool. Well, let people know where they can get in touch with you. The best place, I'd say the best place that you like to receive people reaching out.
Yeah, so it'd probably be Instagram because that's where you can kind of see me and my brand. But it'd be Garret, the Garage Door Doctor.
Nice. We'll get all his links down in the show notes. Today was brief. There's a lot more I'd like to dive into with Garret, even after just this brief conversation here. So I think you'll see him on the show again.
100%.
And thanks y'all for listening. If y'all have any questions for Garret, you want to get into the garage door business, you're interested in how he sees things, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure I ask those questions on the next time we have him on the show. And thank y'all for listening. Any last words, parting words for the listeners? I'll pass it to you, Garret.
Yeah, so just keep hustling, guys. Stay in a good line. I just want to say thank you, Ryan, for having me. It was a great time. Really appreciate it.